All right, before we get started here, we want to mention our sponsor for today's episode, the Schram Cattle Company, based out of Cartwright, Manitoba, right here in the province, by one of our own beloved competitors, Mark Schram. So what Schram Cattle Co. is doing is offering a special deal to Manitoba, anybody in Manitoba, but through the Manitoba strongman scene. $8 a pound on ground beef from his grass-fed, amazing ranch that he has right here, like I said, in Cartwright, Manitoba. So what the little bit of insight into how the beef scene works here in Manitoba is that Mark's company sells their beef to True North, which is the company that sells their beef to Costco. So now what happens there when there's this same beef ends up at Costco, they're able to sell it a little bit cheaper at Costco because they have additives that they put into it. They add water, they add fat and other fillers. That's why it's cheaper. And that's why when you cook it, it gets so much...
There's like nothing left.
You lose a lot of it. You have to pour so much out of it at the end. And when you cook beef that comes directly from a supplier like Mark, you just don't get that. You pour out the slightest bit of moisture at the end, or you don't even have to sometimes. Mm-hmm. The beef is so good. We've been using it at home. We're making all kinds of delicious hamburgers with it. Mm-hmm. And we're just we're absolutely thrilled to be working with Mark in this. If you're at all interested, please contact us or him on Instagram, and we'll get this beef ball rolling.
This little meatball.
This little meatball. Here we are, Iron Age Radio, episode 16. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the Iron Age gym in beautiful, sunny, balmy Winnipeg, Manitoba. I'm being joined by the mom, now the de facto mother of Manitoba Strongman, the world's strongest, victim of a car accident that's been affecting her ability to lift for almost a year now.
That's not true.
What?
That's Martine's.
I'm an idiot. And White Pavlo, too. In Manitoba, though, the Manitoban hairstylist who hasn't been able to lift lately, Jan Sarame.
Hello.
Hi, Jan. So we're here. We have a couple things we want to discuss today. We're probably be a little bit of a shorter one today because we're just sort of in between things going on right now. But it's an exciting world. There's always exciting things happening in the world of strongman. So isn't that right? Mm-hmm. We had our Festival de Voyageur Games this all week here.
This whole week. Jose did Tuesday, I believe.
Jose are the one of the godmothers of strength sports in general in Manitoba.
Yeah. She
took first on your qualifier on Tuesday. Your boy here took first on his qualifier on Wednesday. Anna took first in her qualifier yesterday. Mm-hmm. So we have a very strong representation of Manitoba Strongman, and not only showing up making the finals, but winning their heats to go into it, which is pretty cool. It's really, really fun. It's a really good time. Gian was there having a couple drinks, cheering everybody on.
Yeah.
And it's an absolute blast. It's kind of like strongman in a way. It kind of scratches the strongman itch with none of the really I feel great the day after competing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's not very taxing.
No, it's like a series of weird events, just like strongman. You're competing against other guys, just like strongman. Unlike most strongman events, everyone's pretty drunk.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the competitors there were pretty hammered.
Yeah. So I think that I was pretty well in the minority as the only guy who didn't have any drinks that night. Mm-hmm. I was there to win. Well,
they gave out drink tickets to the competitors.
When you walked in, you got a drink ticket, so it kind of sets the tone for the night, I think, for a lot of guys. But there was a couple guys, there was one dude who, by the end, he was just so drunk and over it that he just declined his last.
Right.
They were like, "All right, get on up here for your turn." He was like, "Nah, I'm okay." Like he was just sitting by the bar.
I'm having fun over here.
I'm actually perfectly fine sitting here doing exactly what I'm doing.
So people take it really seriously too, and I'm really surprised. Like people wait all year for this.
There's a mix of people who take it very seriously.
Right.
There's a mix of people who don't take it seriously at all, but they're all super excited to be there.
Yeah.
For different reasons and in different ways.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's a very fun thing where I went to it last year just to spectate, watch Thrones and Anna and Jose. And it was like holy shit, these people are maniacs about this stuff. Like they're so into it. They're having so much fun. It was very infectious, and I was like, I got to do this next year. So we're gonna do that, and we had a great group of people coming out and watching us and stuff, and it was really
It's
fun.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like yesterday wasn't as busy because there was the hockey game. And it felt kind of silly, like how intense I was getting. I was mostly doing it to bother Anna because she hates when people cheer for her and people like tell her she's doing a good job.
But damn it, when you're good at things, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, don't be so good.
Don't be so good at stuff. Yeah, that's the secret of not being cheered. Just do poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time, and we have the finals. I'm not sure exactly when this will be. Probably Sunday this will come out. So it'll been yesterday, and we'll get a chance to talk about exactly how that went. I think that there's some pretty heavy hitters that make it to the finals this one. So
heavy on the heavy.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily anticipate having the same kind of outcome that I had in my qualifier.
Well, I was supposed to do it, but I watched one round of leg wrestling, and I thought better not.
No, so yeah, for anybody who's not aware, Jan. So we got rear-ended in Montreal in August, but on our way to Canada's Strongest Man. And Gianne didn't have her seat was in the very back of a big 8-seater, and she didn't have a headrest. So she got some whiplash to that she's still dealing with right now.
I thought it was getting better, but it's just getting worse.
But we're working on it now. We have a new plan in place, and it's going to be better soon. So
we're going to be less sad about it.
Absolutely. We're definitely not sad.
We're not going to cry about it.
No one's
That's
sad,
for sure.
and no one's crying. That's
Nobody's
for sure.
crying at all.
Nope. So one of the things that is going on right now in the wide world of strongman is World's Strongest Man has set out another round of their invite. This is already about a week old now, but it's still a topic of discussion that I think I kind of want to get into a little bit here, because it's certainly a topic that's on a lot of Canadian fans and worldwide too. Is the second round of invites? It did include Tristan Hoth, so we're all happy about that. We're happy that our boy T is in there to have another stellar showing. I can only imagine how he's going to do with a little bit of time to prepare this time.
Now that he actually knows that he's going.
Yeah, and also there's something to be said too that now he has like that big show experience. He's done several big shows since then, and we just love seeing Sweet T on our TV. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. But we have Western Canada represented, but we're missing right now is that Eastern Canada representation, because so far, friend of the show, friend of Canadian Strongman, and one of the very best guys going in the world today. I don't give a fuck what metrics you're using. He's one of the best in the world. Derwinsky. Still not invited.
Still not invited, and I don't understand. I don't think anyone understands why anyone gets invited or not invited.
Well, see, and that's the thing too. So they did these 2 waves of invites that they announced on their Instagram, and I was just looking at it here. I've been checking things to make sure I have this right here. But the first wave, they listed all the invites, and then they had a little thing next to it that said why they were invited. Giants Live Podium, whatever it might be. The second wave didn't have that.
Right.
It didn't have the same. All of a sudden, it was kind of back to the old ways where it's a little more.
Where you just like close your eyes and you point and see who lands.
It seems a little more mysterious and maybe a little less based on performances and a little more whatever. I don't know.
That's like when you get back together with your ex and you're like, oh, he's gonna do better.
It's gonna change. We all wanted to see change, and we just haven't. It hasn't been that way yet so far.
Bad habits die hard, baby.
And I also want to preface this too, because as we both of us, you and I, as I progress in strongman, we start to meet more of these people. We know we've personally met a lot of the people on both of those lists, the World's Strongest Man lists, the invitation lists. So what I don't want this to become is anything where we're like
shitting on them, because like we're friends with a lot of them.
By no means, like if I got invited to World's Strongest Man tomorrow, I would say yes, knowing full well that I am not next in line for that invitation, because I would be fucking insane not to.
Right.
You'd be insane to not take that invitation. And there's been, all through World's Strongest Man, there's been, you might call them like token invites or just very mysterious ones where you're like, how did that happen? And it's never on the athlete. It would, like I said,
I would never hold it against somebody for saying yes to a great opportunity.
To the best thing that could happen to them. That would be
like, that's their life goal. Why would you say no to that?
It would be insane. So I want to preface that by saying this is speaking about the selection choice, not the athletes.
Right.
Okay. Just to preface that, because there are names on that list that just stand out to me as not being above Wes. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
You're looking at the wrong list there. Just so you know.
What? Oh.
That's the Arnold's list.
That's my other list.
So and again, it feels weird just to say names and stuff, but if we're looking at this purely like as a sport, right? We're looking at this based on numbers and whatever. Like Evans Nana is a guy where he is an extremely talented strongman, and he is like
very nice.
He's very nice. I mean,
very sweet boy.
But we're not talking about personality wise. We're talking about talent level, and he's way up there. He's very, very good. Mm-hmm. But Wes made the finals at World's Strongest Man when Evans didn't last year.
What more could you ask for?
What more could you ask for in my mind? And then on top of that, not only did Wes make the finals last year, he set a world record.
Right.
He set a world record.
And his debut for World's Strongest Man.
In his rookie World's Strongest Man year.
Yeah.
And a world record is a world record. And any event, it's amazing. But he beat Brian goddamn Shaw's world record. Mm-hmm. That's truly taking down the king of the mountain. You know what I mean? Like that's like if you beat fucking Wayne Gretzky's points records. You know what I mean? Like it's not to be held the same as like when beating a I'm struggling to think of exactly.
I just don't understand why it's something that was so easily forgotten.
It's confusing to me too.
Maybe because nobody thinks about World's Strongest Man because it's never on TV.
maybe that's the problem. Maybe even World's Strongest Man kind of forgets about World's
They're
Strongest Man.
They're like, oh yeah,
sometimes.
We didn't watch it because we can't.
Well, there was weird things like say I'm pretty sure that like Laws said on his channel after World's Strongest Man had already been out for a little bit that he hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah.
And he is pretty involved.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like the buzz isn't there, whatever. But that's not an excuse to be like we're joking. That's not a reason to be like forgetting the fact that he was in the upper echelon of the best athletes in the world.
This is his life too, though.
Yeah.
So if it was easy for him to watch, he would have.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree. But so for Wes, if I'm trying to like kind of play devil's advocate and be like, why wouldn't this happen? Mm-hmm. The only thing that I can really come up with is that they're really, really considering Giants Live. Like, apparently Giants Live performances are actually more important than World's Strongest Man performances, which I wouldn't have guessed.
I don't know how that makes any sense.
But that's what we're seeing by these numbers here. And this shouldn't play into it, but maybe Wes's sort of like introverted, sort of somewhat stoic personality plays against him in that way a little bit.
Right.
Where he says, he says himself that he wishes that he was better at the social media game. I saw in a Q&A he did recently that he said that it was something he could tell his younger self, I think, was to do better at social media. And there is something to that. Everyone always says this bullshit thing, which is like, well, World's Strongest Man is just a show. It's just a show. Well, then why do we give a fuck if it's just a show? Mm-hmm. Well, let's have TV writers write a World's Strongest Man competition, and we'll go watch that because that'll be really exciting. Is it still a competition? So this shouldn't matter as much. But when we've seen invites in the past, say like, Apollo Dwyer, who's very good at the social media game. He's very good at creating content. Arguably better at that than like the actual strongman stuff sometimes. And he gets an invite, say last year. You can't ignore that the social media stuff, it seems to be important. At
the end of the day, it's still a business, and they're going to invite people that are going to create the most clicks, the most views.
Which is bullshit, because that's not the athlete's job. That's the promotion. The promotion's job. In the NHL, they don't sign players based on what's your following.
Right.
Well, how many funny Instagram reels have you made?
I know, but this sport is so new, and they're doing their own thing with World's Strongest Man. Mm-hmm. And for the longest time, they were the only show to watch. Mm-hmm. So now that there's a different standard, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing, and
it's growing so fast, so it's hard for them to keep up, I imagine.
Wow, that's really giving them a lot of leeway. I'm really hoping that this isn't the final word on Wes Derwinsky in World's Strongest Man for 2025.
Right.
Although it's like I said, it's a shame that they have to go this he'd be that low on the list. It just doesn't make sense to me. And obviously we have a little bit of a bias going into this where he's like a friend of ours and Canadian and all that. But
right.
I just don't know. I don't know about that. It really kind of like makes me move even further away from giving a shit about World's Strongest Man, to be honest with you, compared to the other big events of the year.
It's funny because they pretended to give a shit.
Yeah.
Asking people what they actually want to see or what they could change to get people back, but
right.
Nobody gives a fuck anymore.
They don't give a shit.
Also, the picture for World's Strongest Man for Wes is crazy.
What?
Like he just looks very different from how I see him. You know what I mean? Like he just fills up the whole screen.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
But he, people also argue this thing where it's like, oh, there's too many Canadians. There's too many.
I disagree.
I disagree too. There's just too many Americans. There's too many UK guys. I think that the argument could be made. There's too many UK guys. But I've said this before, and this is a conversation that me and Thrones have had, where if the 25 strongest men in the world come from fucking Latvia, or they come from Puerto Rico, or all 25 of them come from China, then the world's strongest man should be 25 Chinese guys. It should be 25 of whoever the strongest people in the world is. I know it's fun to have it kind of feel like the Olympics, where there's like all the different countries are represented and blah, blah, blah. But then it's not truly the test of who the world's strongest man is. Yeah. And that's where we need to decide how much that matters, I guess.
But World's Strongest Man isn't also the heaviest show.
No, but it's also not the test of who the world's strongest man is either.
Right.
But they have the title. You know what I mean? And that matters.
Yeah. They trademarked it, and that's whatever.
So, another thing I wanted, we won't go too much into that because we don't have a lot of the answers.
In fact, we have none of the answers.
I have none of the answers. We've talked to Wes. He's, as far as I know, he hasn't heard anything. Maybe there's a secret, big bombshell waiting to be dropped that he actually has been. But as far as I know, this is the case, and it's just not right. It's just not the way that it should be.
If he doesn't get invited, there's gonna be bombs, all right.
Jihan's gonna be fucking pissed.
I'm gonna be pissed.
Another thing that I wanted to bring up here too that was shared in a group chat that I'm in is the former world's strongest man, also Canadian kind of, Mitch Hooper. I was asked the question, do you have any intention? Oh, sorry, he did an AMA on.
I just brought that up on
is that what you're on? Oh,
yeah.
Wow. We're a good team, hey? We're a good pair.
Two peas in a pod.
Two peas in a pod. He was asked the question, do you have any intention on... Okay, that's right.
Like I have it pulled up and everything.
I keep not explaining what this is. It's a Reddit Ask Me Anything thing.
Yeah.
Do you have any intention on doing Canada's Strongest Man? And the answer is the same as it's always been. Just a firm no. It's a business decision, and the pay doesn't justify doing it. That being said, I had a good conversation with Tristan Hoth. Tristan Hoth out here just putting in fucking work on behalf of Canada. We love that guy.
Just the nicest guy.
We love Tristan. And he thinks it would be good for me to come watch. Now, why Tristan had to break that news to him, I don't know.
It's not that far from his house.
I'm so baffled.
Yeah.
To how it had to be explained to the very best, arguably a man who's on his way to being the best of all time.
Right.
You know, he's not there yet, but he's en route. Where it's like, you know what? It actually might be good if you came and watched some strongman stuff and lent your credibility to it.
How about you just come hang out?
And he was like, I never really thought about that.
Wait a minute.
That never really crossed my mind. He said, I don't want to come across as better than them, so I'm not competing, which is why I haven't come to watch
It's okay if you're better than them.
Yeah, well,
it's okay, but just don't be an idiot. Like, don't be a dick. It's not that hard.
That's her words. It's I would love to be a bigger part of the Canadian strongman scene.
You don't have to lie. Like, you already answered with no. You don't have to be like, no, but I wish I could have gone. I'm so sorry. I would have loved to be there.
I'm presenting this information just without comment. I'm just reading what he.
All I have is my comments.
I'm just reading what he said.
Oh God! Like, how stupid does he think everybody is? That like, I would have loved to be there. No, you wouldn't have. Because if you wanted to, you would have. There's been how many years of CSM?
Many.
I
mean, he's been around since only for a few, but.
You're telling me this man is booked and busy 24/7?
He's a busy guy. He's got a lot going on. He's got to make his YouTube comment. He's got to post.
At the very least, that's a YouTube video for him.
Listen, there's really important things in strongman. There's doing tandem squats on Instagram, like 1,100-pound tandem squats.
Oh, switching diets with your wife?
There's important things. Yeah. I'm saying these things are important.
I guess so.
And I'm saying that there's less important things like national championships of the country that you represent.
Right.
There's important things, and then there's not as important things.
Right.
That's the point that he's making. That's all that, and that it's like, he says it's a business sense where it wouldn't make sense to get hurt competing at CSM Sure, that's reasonable, but then you do like 1,100-pound tandem squats with Luke Richardson, who's one of the more injured guys in the sport. That's the risk. The reward is so high on that compared to the risk. I understand. I'm saying that.
Imagine the thumbnail.
This all makes perfect sense.
Absolutely.
I saw that and I wanted to mention
I
that.
saved this post last night because I saw it before I went to bed.
Okay.
And you were already sleeping, so I'm like, oh man, I can't get into this right now. I'll be awake forever. There's another one about what Canadians he talks to or whatever.
Oh, really? I'd be curious to know that one, actually.
Yeah, he said that JF doesn't have a problem with him and Max doesn't have a problem with him. And I have to find it.
And I want to preface this by saying that we love Mitch Hooper. We have nothing but admiration and adoration for him. We think that he's fantastic.
I think he's a great athlete.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I can't find it, but I'll find it and tell you about it.
It's all good. I just thought that was like a funny little tidbit there, and it's if you're wondering where Mitch Hooper stands on Canadian strongman, now you know.
Ask a Canadian.
Ask a Canadian. So we we also wanted to get into like this. Like I said, this is gonna be a relatively short episode here. We're kind of just firing through stuff and oh my goodness.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That's my bubbly coming back up to say hello. we just hate being away from you guys, and also we
Hello?
Well, I'm having a fucking meltdown.
Are you okay?
Yeah. We wanted to announce some stuff for some local strongman stuff.
Right.
So we have another event to announce for Manitoba Strongest Man and Woman. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited for this Manitoba Strongest Man and Woman because all of the events, in some way, they're different. Like we've never done these exact events before in Manitoba competition, as far as I know. Like we've never had a Max Farmers. We've done Farmers Carries, obviously, but we've never had a Max Farmers.
Right.
We've done this next event that I'm going to announce, but not in the way that I'm about to specify it. And everything that we're doing is a little different than what we've done in the past. So I'm really excited to make this a year where we have a lot of variance, a lot of playing with things that we like, the tools that we already have available to us. Like as anybody who's not familiar with the Manitoba scene right now, we had Devin Penner, my former podcast partner. Mm-hmm. He took a step back, just needed some time with his family. He's building a house. He has 30,000 businesses that he runs.
He looks great right now. He looks so healthy.
He looks like regenerated.
Yeah.
He looks very good. Shout out to Devin for doing what he had to do and taking care of himself. It's good to see. But with Devin departing, almost all the equipment that we used was his. Mm-hmm. At least all the big stuff. And obviously Devin is not being like, sorry guys, I'm gone, you can't use my shit. That's not the case. But the problem does become that, I think I said this last time, that I have to go out there and get it, mm-hmm. and I have to bring it back to the city, and then we have to have the competition where I have to transport it again, and I have to transport it back to Devin's place again, where I don't have all the big trucks and toys that Devin has to make that stuff a little easier on the body, right, and on the schedule. So we're trying to be a little more creative. We're amassing more things. Shout out to Resolute, who gave us a great deal on some logs to make sure that we could have 2 matching logs for our competitions coming up. They're one of our sponsors for for Western Canada's Strongest Master. Big love for Resolute, Canadian brand, fantastic, great stuff. And they offered us the sponsorship deal that I went to them just to buy logs, right? And they were like, we'd love to be a little more a part of what you guys are doing there, and so we love it. Yeah, we love them. Nothing but respect for them. So we have all this equipment that we're trying to find new and unique ways to make things happen. So all that being said, in no particular order, Yannick Boucher pointed out, like, oh, what a great way to start a competition with everyone ripping their hands on a Max Farmers. That's not going to be
Correct.
The first event. You would be right. That's absolutely right. That won't be the first event in the competition. It's just the order that I'm announcing them.
Also, it's just a boo-boo.
It's just a boo-boo. Yeah,
it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, well, everyone will be just fine. But that'll be later on in the competition. Don't worry, we're not going to start with the Max Farmers. But what we are going to have in the competition is a throwing event. Now, you may say to yourself, we've had throwing events. Mm-hmm. What could possibly be different about that? Well, what if what we were throwing was different, Gian?
What?
Yes. Instead of throwing sandbags, we are going to be throwing kegs. I have a beautiful collection of those little kind of short, fat pony kegs, mm-hmm. that my man Tristan Hoth hooked me up with like a few years ago now. We just haven't really got a chance to do anything with. So we're gonna have keg throwing for like a series, and it's gonna be really, really fun. I'm really.
We should have Wes come down to do like a.
Ooh, an exhibition.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
Show them how it's really done.
You could just rock all of our guys' worlds with a sick
just
throw.
bum them out before they go.
Yeah, yeah. We'll start with Wes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that one. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm gonna say this too because I know that I don't know. I think that I might be the only guy in the province that has those kegs. Mm-hmm. They're hard to find now. They don't really make those. Like not a lot of companies use those kegs anymore. So anybody in the province who wants to just get their hands on it and practice with them, absolutely free reign. Come down to Iron Age and do it, no cost. You just have to tell me that I'm the best and my gym is the best. That's all.
I really thought you were gonna be like, if you go to any other gym, get fucked.
All you have to do is get a membership to my gym, hire me as a coach, and you can use all the equipment that you want to use.
And tell me how beautiful I am.
Yeah, tell me that I'm the best.
Oh wait, hold on, sorry. I found it. I just found it. It says, do you get hate/resentment from other Canadian strongmen who never reached your level of success in the sport? He said, some of them, not JF or Max, not anyone I care about, to be honest.
Cold.
So really, he would love to go to CSM to support.
But he doesn't care.
But he doesn't give a fuck.
He doesn't care about anybody.
Yeah.
I don't
Sorry.
I can respect on one hand. It's where it's like, hey, like I'm not gonna let the din below me dictate too much about what I'm doing. But then at the same time, you can't really pretend to give that much of a fuck about Canadian strongman if you don't care what people in the scene are saying.
Just own it. That's worse for me. Is that if someone can't own it, you know?
I just think that I just love Mitch Hooper. I think he's the best. That's my opinion on it.
That's not true.
Anyway, so we're gonna have a keg throw. Anybody who wants to come down here, more than welcome to give it a shot, try it out, and that goes for any of the equipment that we use for any competitions. If like I said, we're getting kind of specific with the things that we're using this season. Tolstoy has the Dinny rings. If you want to come down here and try the stuff that we have that we're going to be using, the stuff that we're probably going to use in the competition, no problem. Come down and do that. I'm not. There's in no way am I trying to make this a thing where it's gatekeeping to people who don't have the equipment or anything like that. We're just trying to make.
That's not the spirit of the sport.
No, we're just trying to make the events unique and different and fun. So there you go. Event 2, keg throw run. I haven't done that myself since I only did it once in Westerns 2020.
Regina.
Yeah, 2022.
Yeah.
We did that. The first throw of the keg in the event was the first time that I did a throw.
Right.
I'd never thrown a sandbag or a keg before.
That's wild.
I'm pretty definitely on a keg, and I'm pretty sure I'd never thrown a sandbag. It just wasn't really a thing when I was.
It's getting more and more popular again.
Like, I like it. I include it in a lot of my shows.
Yeah.
Because I think that it exhibits a different form of strength and athleticism, and it's fun, and it's and there's a lot of variances that we can do with it. We have one at Western Masters too. We're doing it the steeplechase style.
Yeah.
Where we're lucky that we have 3 apparati, so we're able to have an increasing height on them, which is really cool. So I'm looking forward to having all these different modalities and styles of these similar events.
As a spectator, it's also very fun to watch because like you see a deadlift, you see a log, but you don't really see a lot of explosiveness.
No.
And explosiveness comes in different events, but not as big and
no. It's a very grand
show-offy.
sort of absolutely
It's really fun.
I like that a lot, and I'm looking forward to that. And there's a couple guys in Manitoba who are good throwers. Langlar's a good thrower.
Yeah.
Jeremy needs a little bit of practice with it, but you talk about leverages, like he's built pretty much the same as like Langlar. These are guys
he
who
could just like pop it over.
Yeah, exactly. These guys are both going to be very good at that throwing stuff.
Pat's a really good thrower.
Pat's good at it. Dan's been working on his like Olympic lifting stuff that I think is going to have a really good carryover to his throwing. I'm really excited, and it'll be interesting to see what the change from sandbag to keg does for certain guys. I don't think it'll be like a giant game changer for anybody, but it could make things harder or easier for certain guys if it's like saying that pressing's pressing. It's not. It's different with different implements. So throwing is different with different implements too.
It's trickier, I think.
With the keg?
With a keg.
It's interesting, and it's whether it's harder or easier, just like objectively, it might be harder for guys who've just never done it before.
Yeah.
So and you can practice with a sandbag, and you will get carryover, obviously.
Right.
But it's not the same as with the keg.
With a sandbag, though, it's like the weight of it is held at the same spot for every sandbag, and depending on how the keg is loaded and how the keg is shaped.
And not to mention that kegs get dents in them, and they get all banged up, and the handles can be kind of weird and stuff. So that's the one thing I'm not looking forward to is fucking up my kegs. But all for the love of the sport.
Pavement.
We'll have mats.
Okay.
We're gonna put some stuff down. We're gonna try to protect everything as much as we can, or ideally on some grass. That would be lovely. But
Yeah.
we'll see what's available to us. We're gonna have to do
we'll plant some seeds now.
Yeah, we'll have to do. Yeah, exactly. We'll lay some grass now. We'll have to do a little tour of Vita and see what's feasible and what's not. But that's what we're looking forward to for Manitoba's Strongest Man and Woman. Registration is open for that one now. We have a ton of competitions that registration is suddenly open for. So get cracking on them.
Getting lots of emails.
Yeah, I've been getting a really good response, especially for the novice competition. We've been getting a lot of. I think that we're sitting right around 30 competitors right now, and I still know of I think 5 people that said they want to do it. They're going to do it. They just have to put pen to paper.
Right.
So I'm really, really excited to have a really good showing for that one. The Masters event that we do actually have one men's spot open up. So if anybody's been thinking about it and wanting to do it, this is your chance. It's got snapped up really fast when one opened up last time. So don't wait. And we still need more women. Allison Lockhart, I want you to come do Western Canada's Strongest Woman. I don't give a fuck how long you've been out of Strong Woman for.
You can stay at our house.
We can stay at Pam's house or our house.
Pam's house if you want to see Dolly,
you can meet our dogs.
Honey, or stay with Moo.
Yeah. There's all kinds of reasons to come to Manitoba. Low on the list is Western Canada's Strongest Master, but lots of dogs to see and lots of people to see. And so if you are listening to this and if you speak to Allison on the regular, let her know that we want her to do our competition. I messaged her and told her, but yeah, but I'm gonna bug her again. I'm gonna send her this clip. So anyway, we're looking forward to that. Where we have some really awesome competitions coming up this year, and we will announce more events coming up next week. Okay. So the one thing that we do have coming up very, very soon here is the Arnolds, the Arnold Classic coming up. We have the big boy show, the big boy and girl show on the main stage at the Arnold's. We have some friends of the show, some friends of ours involved in that one. And then we also have the Arnold Pro-Am, which is a very big show in its own right. I don't mean to downplay that at all.
Yeah.
And we have some friends from Manitoba who are doing that one.
Yes.
Yeah, we have Andrew Langlar, currently Manitoba's Strongest Man, heading there. We have Jocelyn Grimolfsson, currently Manitoba's Strongest Woman, heading there. We have Gord Grimolfsson, Lightweight Masters Champion of 2023, if I have that right.
Yes.
I believe, yes. We have Jan. He's one of my all-time favorites in Manitoba. He is one of the nicer guys you could ever hope to meet. He is a great ambassador for the sport. He's always getting new people involved. He's always putting up his own time to help people. Love Jan. He rules. And we're super, super excited to see how they all stack up against the very best in the world. So we have, for the first time ever at the Arnold's, at the Pro-Am level, we have Masters divisions, which is why we're seeing Jan, Gord, and Jocelyn finally have an opportunity to go there and show what they can do.
Right.
Which is going to be awesome. We have, like I said, Langlar, who's going to represent Manitoba in the Open division. We have Billy Hornaday, who's also a pro on the circuit, going to do the Open division. And we have Josh Cloherty from Alberta, who's another pro on the circuit. He's doing the 120 there. Josh has slimmed down a little bit these days.
No way, that's wild.
Yeah, he's carrying a little bit less weight on the old belly these days. He's looking jacked. So he's going to go there and try to fuck shit up in the 120 division.
That'll be fun to watch.
I'm really looking forward to. We talked about it a couple times. We're getting that feeling of like, God damn, I wish I was going to the Arnold's.
Oh my God, I had exactly one drink in me, and I just stared at Martin, and he was like, "Are you fucked up?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Martin, guess what? I'm off work. We could drive to Ohio together." And he was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." If
there's one person that you could convince to go with you, it would be Martin.
We had to talk ourselves out of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't think I have like a 20-hour drive in me right now.
No, that would be not good for your neck.
No. And then I was like, we can do it. I'm off work. We can get back by this time. You have the time off of work.
Yeah.
Because he has vacation days to use still.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's probably not a good idea.
It's not a good idea, but sometimes life is about not good ideas.
That's true.
And I'm not saying you should go, but I'm just saying that sometimes,
we were very close.
Yeah.
I'll catch him again tomorrow when I see him at the Voyager Games and see what I can get at him.
Okay. Well, we'll have an update next week as to whether or not Jan's going to the Arnold's with Martin. So in the are you looking at the women's right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing that I didn't want to do was Tyler and Jan, pick the podium or what? Who gives a fuck?
Predictions for the Arnold's.
People who know a lot more about the ins and outs of these athletes and stuff have already done those.
Right.
I strongly recommend Lucas Hatton and Ale Jose's.
They're a lot smarter than we are.
They are very detail oriented and they know a lot more. Even say like Jefferson Keelan, they had a good breakdown of it. They talked a good game about who was going to be doing what in that competition. Those are great. You guys can form your own opinions on who's going to be the podium of the men's and the women's. But what I want to know is Gianne's made up awards for people or what she thinks is going to happen outside of the actual competition.
Right.
So there's one that I know off the top of my head that Gianne it's very important to her when she's watching this competition is who is having the most fun. And that's so let's start with that. Let's go to the women's division. Who do you believe in the women's division at the Arnold's Classic is going to have the most fun?
I think Angelica Jardines is going to have the most fun.
Okay.
I feel like she's always having fun.
Yes.
She's very excited about everything.
She seems like a really, really pleasant, fun person.
Yeah.
Now, I would say that I think that's a great choice. Now, I think that my dark horse pick for that one might be Sam Beliveau.
I think she's too zoned in. I think she's like...
I don't know. We watched her at the Rogue. She was having a blast at the Rogue. Like she was
on stage. I'm talking the whole time.
Like the whole Arnold Expo?
No, like even in the athlete area. Like I think she's more like.
But when they interview her, she's like laughing and having a good time. I don't know. I think that. Sam...
I think this is my awards, and what I picked was right.
Well, what the fuck? I don't get any input on this at all. Okay.
You can't tell me that I'm wrong.
No, I said that was my choice.
Okay.
God. Okay. So your choice for the female athlete who will have the most fun is Angelica Jardine.
Yes.
Okay. I have no argument with that. When you watch her again at the Rogue, when you watch her, she's like doing like the fucking war cry and she's having a good time, and I really enjoy watching her compete.
Just bouncy and fun.
Super talented. Now let's go to the men's side. Who of the men do you believe is going to have the most fun? And it's funny because I think that in general the men like show themselves having less fun than the women. They have to have more of like a tough guy attitude to them.
Yeah.
So they're not always having as much fun.
I think it'll be Lucas having the most fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the jolliest.
He is very jolly.
Yeah.
Why do you say jolly?
Belly.
Because he has a belly. That's right. If I were to pick one just to go off of yours, or like not pick the same one as you, I think that Tom is a guy who tends to have a good time at competitions. Right. He just seems to be when and there's times where he's not having the best time. You've seen competitions where he's not doing his very best and he doesn't seem to be having all that much fun. But I think that when you see him in interviews and stuff like that smile, you can't beat that Tom Stolman smile.
Right.
Yeah, that's who I think that I might pick.
That's
for
fair.
That
or like performatively, I think Evan Singleton would be like based on appearance is having the most fun.
But he's not.
I don't think so.
I think he gets a little ants in his pants when he's competing.
Gets a little silly.
Yeah. All right. Did you have another category that you want? You mentioned one yesterday that I thought was funny.
Well, we were just talking about like what my awards would be, and I was like, oh, I have one, the prettiest eyes.
Okay, so let's. now I know you guys tuned into a strongman podcast based in Western Canada about Western Canadian strongman and world strongman and all that stuff, and I know that you guys tuned in for one thing: which strongman and woman, but I think we all want to know what your choice is for the strongman has the prettiest eyes at the Arnold Classic 2025.
Oh, for men?
No, we're both. We're going to do both. We'll do both. But who has the prettiest eyes for the women first?
Andrew Thompson, hands down.
Andrew. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah. I would agree with that.
I say that every time I watch her. She has really pretty eyes.
You mention that every single time.
Yeah.
And I would say they're not pretty in this whatever, but Erin Murray with those contacts is pretty fucking cool.
Right.
Yeah, that's hard to deny that
different.
One. It's not like pretty in like the traditional sense, but it's fucking cool. And,
it is cool.
Yeah, I like that one.
Very D'Antword.
Okay, yeah, very wow. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the men's side. Which of the men has the prettiest eyes?
Never really thought about it, to be honest.
I have a choice.
Who?
Lucas. His little squinty. He gets the same squinty eyes that I get when he smiles, and yeah.
Well, I would say Tom.
Tom?
I think he has very kind eyes.
Kind eyes, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I could see that.
Yeah.
But
I do like how Lucas gets squinty like you do.
Lucas, I think that he has the most infectious. I would say, okay, that's if I was to pick the most infectious smile.
Lucas, hands down.
Lucas or Tom too.
Oh, damn it.
But I do give the edge to Lucas on that one, I think.
Lucas, because like when Tom does it, it makes me want to cry.
Because it's just so beautiful.
Just because I'm so happy.
Yeah.
But when Lucas giggles, I want to giggle.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I would say that's pretty fair, I would say.
Yeah. Those are my predictions.
Did you have any other? Is that all the predictions you want to do? Just those two?
That's what I got so far.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any more?
No. I'm trying to think.
Are you disappointed?
No, not at all. But sometimes you come up with just like a weird one that I'm just like, oh, that's just an absolutely bizarre thought that you would have about somebody when you're watching. We were
driving to the Voyager games, and I was like, oh, prettiest eyes goes to Andrew Thompson.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, I would never have considered a prettiest eyes category, but that's why we have Gianne here. So there's a little bit of a yin and yang here. So she thinks of the things that I don't necessarily think about when it comes to judging strong man and strong woman. So there's that.
Yeah.
Is that our coverage of the Arnolds right now? That's
pretty much it.
Okay. Who do you want to win for the men's?
Men's?
Who do you want to not who do you think will win?
Right.
Who do you want to win for the men's?
I want all of them to win.
I was setting her up for what I thought would be her answer, which was I just want everyone to have fun because that's what you always say.
I get really bummed when people are like upset. I want it to be like a tie for first with Max, Lucas, like everyone I like and know.
Yeah.
Well, I think Hooper's gonna win.
No, I didn't ask you who you think's gonna win. I asked who you want to win.
I want Lucas to win.
You want Lucas to win?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Congratulations, Lucas Hatton. You have Gianne's vote. What about for the women?
Oh. For women? I want Sam to win.
It's tougher because you know a couple of them.
Yeah. I want Sam to win. She's looking like $1 million these days.
Her overhead pressing is really awesome. Yeah.
But you know what? I want Inez to win too.
I want Inez to win.
Inez is gonna win.
I want Mel to win. Yeah. You don't really have to pick Inez because she probably will win.
Yeah.
but I think that there's a really good opportunity for a lot of our friends to do well in these competitions, which is a fun. It's gonna be a really fun one to watch.
Yeah.
So that's our coverage of the Arnold's Classic 2025. We will watch it.
We'll circle back like when it's done and see if I was right about the prettiest eyes and who's having the most fun.
And I'm sure that you'll come up with other things that are important for you to talk about.
Like, for sure.
Just like hairstyle choices.
Yeah. Looking out for Erin Murray on that one.
Definitely.
See what she comes up with.
Absolutely. Yeah. She's usually coming up with something pretty fucking cool. So what do we have for time there, Jen?
40 minutes.
Oh shit, this is actually going longer than I thought it would. Okay, cool. So we let's touch a little bit on some of the stuff that we have going on locally here. We have coming up very, very soon. We have in April 12th.
Sooner than that is March 8th.
March 8th. Yeah, holy smokes. We have our charity log competition here. That's in a fundraising effort for the North End Women's Center, a charity that we have, or not charity. They're a foundation, maybe you call it, here in Winnipeg that does a lot of really great work, a lot of really important work, and we want to do whatever little bit we can to help them out. So if you are not thinking about lifting, which I encourage everybody to come and lift, it's fun. It's an exhibition. It's not a competition. I'm seeing a lot of gaps in our sign-up sheet where there should be Manitoba lifters filling it up, and I'm just not seeing that, and that's
pretty shitty, guys.
A little disappointing, to be honest with you. I'm seeing a lot of like people like regular like guys and girls from the gym who don't compete signing up for it. We got fucking 62-year-old Baz signed up for it. He's absolutely thrilled to do it. And I'm not seeing a lot of Manitoba lifters on there. I think we have like 20, 25, and literally probably like half of them are actual like consistent lifters. So get off your fucking asses, guys. Sign up. And if you're not going to lift, which again, you should, if you're not going to, at the very least, make a donation. Come down here, watch. I know that people have this weird thing where it's like, well, if I'm not there, like lifting, I'm just not going to go for something. I'll never understand that. But come down, give a couple bucks we'll have like a place to give donations here, and I'll count everything that we have here, so everything's 100% transparent, and every single dollar, every single penny that we make is going to the North End Women's Center. There's no overhead cost to this. There's no, like, we're not doing shirts, we're not doing none of that stuff, so it's just every single penny that we make goes to the Northern Women's Center.
Other gyms, take notes.
Yeah, exactly.
Write this down.
Yeah, exactly. Take note of who's giving all their money to charity and who's giving some of the money to charity. Anyway, so we have that one on March. April 12th, we have the novice competition at the wonderful Iron Image in Selkirk. They're hosting our competition. We're absolutely thrilled to start working with them a little more closely this year. Great gym run by great people. Andrew Langelar, one of their a coach working out of there, obviously very involved in the strongman scene, so he's doing his best to get some guys out there signed up. And if you are not signed up yet, there's still time. We're going to close that about 4 weeks out, so about mid-March we'll be closing that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? Yeah, March. So lots of time, but don't think about it too much. Just do it. Sign up, give it a shot. If you hate it, I promise I'll never make you do it again. Just try it once. Following that, we have March, April, May. We have May 10th in Tolstoy, the first Strongman Corp Canada qualifier. Being held in the beautiful border town of Tolstoy, Manitoba at Elsie's Hotel. This is our third year that they've hosted us. They set up like a really fun little day around it where they have food and drinks and bands. It's really, really cool. And we're just trying to get something, to hit these smaller towns, get something off the ground, and it's been really fun and successful with Tolstoy. So if you're not registered, get registered. I think we have our first probably like 12 athletes signed up for that one. But there's still tons of time. And for the first time ever, we are introducing a men's masters 50 plus category. So if you've been kind of looking at some of the weights and you've thought, and you're over 50 and you're like, I could do a little less than that, maybe the men's masters 40 weights. Well, good news. We have the masters 50 plus. We take it a little bit easier on the weights on that one. It's just a great opportunity to get more people involved, get more, I want to say new faces, but old faces involved in strongman here.
Well, it's nice too, because it's a big jump from 40 to 50 in terms of how you feel as an athlete.
I'm sure that's what these guys keep telling me. So we had a demand for it, so we decided just to do it, and we're really excited for that. We're really looking forward to having a new opportunity for guys to compete.
And make sure if you're competing in Tolstoy, if you want to advance to nationals, to get your SEC membership, because otherwise we can't do anything with that. Like, you won't advance to anything.
You can't, like, we've had this happen before in the past, where people find out they do the competition, they're like, oh, I did well enough to qualify, cool, I'll get my membership. That's not how it works. You have to have your membership beforehand, otherwise your score is not counted into the official SCC rankings that we have. Right. So you do not have to compete. You don't have to have the membership to compete. If you're like, I don't really care about provincials, I don't really care about nationals, or I guess just nationals, sorry. That's fine. It doesn't matter to me. But if you want to go to nationals, you have to have that membership before you sign up. I really want to stress that to people, because we've had this conversation before.
And it's awkward because it's not our fault.
It's not our choice.
Yeah.
You got to do it that way, okay? So please, it's reasonably priced, especially compared to powerlifting stuff.
And you can get it online. Like, you don't have to jump through hoops. You just
True.
Sign up online.
Yeah, it's a very easy process. So please, if you want to do it, do it. Nationals is in Calgary this year. I know a big group of Ironish people are going. Yeah. I hope that a big group of Manitobans are going, and we'll make it a real party out there. So where does that put us? April, May, June. June 7th, right here in Manitoba at Morris, the Rumble in the Valley in Morris. We have Western Canada's strongest master, men and women. The first time, to my knowledge, that this has been done. We're really looking forward to having another opportunity for some of our more seasoned veterans to be able to have a chance to show what they got. I'm seeing names on this list of guys that I haven't seen in a long time. Like, I'm really excited for that. Like, guys that are coming from out west that are using this as an opportunity to kind of get back into the sport again. We have our own Scott Witherspoon, this is going to be like his second show, and I'm really excited to see how he does in this one, because
I'm so excited.
He's I'm putting the lightweight masters on notice. Scott's coming, and he's a strong guy, very, very strong boy.
It'll be really fun.
Yeah, so that's gonna be awesome.
Different, not Scott Cumming.
I wish Scott Cumming was coming to this one. He was one that I was secretly like, man, I really hope that I look
like he wakes up from a slumber.
Yeah, that I check the athlete sign up sheet and Scott Cummins on there. I was like, fucking please, that would be so awesome. But unfortunately, it was not to be.
You said Scott Cummins, I was like, what?
Yeah, that would been fucking cool. Wait, I said Scott Cummins now?
You said no. You said Scott's coming.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was one that and there's still time. There's one spot open if you want it, Scott. If anybody who's not aware, get aware that Scott Cummins is a world's strongest man competitor from Regina who is fucking awesome. I got a chance to compete against him one time, my second or third competition.
Yeah.
And it was a very eye-opening experience to how good guys can be at strongman. So after that, we have on June 27th, thank you, we have Manitoba's strongest man and woman in Vita as part of their Canada Day celebration. We're super excited about that. Vita's been a great host to us in the past. We've had all kinds of different competitions there, and now we finally get to have the biggest competition in the province, the heaviest competition that we have every year, Manitoba's strongest man and woman. We've already announced a couple of the events, and we're going to keep announcing them as time goes on here. Registration is open, though. Get yourself signed up. We are going to cap it at a certain number. I'm not sure what, it'll probably look like 15 because it just can't be there all fucking day. You know what I mean? So if you want to get a spot, I urge you.
It makes for a long show on a really hot day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I urge people, if you want to get in, because we're not going to let just an unlimited number of people sign up for it. Following that one, we have April 8th at the Winkler Harvest Festival. It hasn't been officially put out with a poster or anything. August 8th at the Winkler Harvest Festival. Hasn't been officially put out with a poster or anything yet, but that's where provincials will be held. SCC provincials. Super excited. The Winkler Harvest Festival is one of the more storied strongman events in Western Canadian strongman history, and we're always really excited to get back there and just add to that heritage. So it's
a fun festival too,
and it's fun too. That's the thing too, is that I really urge people, if you're coming down to the strongman stuff, which if you do that, we love you. But if you come down to the strongman stuff, stay and hang out and check out Rumble in the Valley. It's a crazy tractor pull with all these wild rich farmers who are just pulling this crazy equipment around and shit, and this $1 million fucking rigs. Devin was so thrilled about that stuff because it was just he kind of gets a little more than I do, but that's it's really fun to watch. There's food, there's drinks, there's beer garden right next to where we compete. There's a beer garden, we compete right next to it. It's awesome. And
that being said, athletes do not visit the beer garden, please.
No. That's what I was gonna say, is that it was I don't remember if I mentioned it earlier, but that's the difference between strongman and festival, is the athletes were quite drunk.
Yeah,
for festival towards the end. That's only happened a couple times in strongman, but it doesn't happen anymore.
The guy came up to Thrones and he was like, you could be really good at this one day if you just focus. No girls, no drinking.
No drinking, and this guy is shit-faced saying that to Thrones.
One eye's looking at you, one eye's looking around.
Yeah, that was awesome. So that's what our strongman season is pretty much going to look like here. Lots of time to get registered for stuff, and we really hope to see our strongest season yet from everybody. We have I know that in our gym here we have some guys who are looking for a real breakout year this year, and I want to see them tested. I don't want to see anybody get any free easy passes. This is going to be a hard competition, and I'm looking forward to it the whole season.
I'm so excited.
Yeah,
yay.
And shout out to the Strength Shop podcast with our friends Andrew and Gord doing their thing over there. They said something that I really liked, which was talking about how expensive powerlifting is, and how the people who run those shows make out like fucking bandits with all the money that they make. And something that Gord said that I thought was really important was transparency when it comes to these competitions, and where the money's going. And the thing is that I'm not saying in any capacity that people shouldn't make money for the work that goes into these shows, because work, God knows, a lot of work goes into these shows.
Yeah.
My problem with it becomes the athletes footing that bill, and that's not the way that it should be done, right? When registration is becoming $150 plus for a competition, that's ridiculous. And
that's before your memberships
and before the equipment that you need and before all that shit. It's just not reasonable. So what he said was there needs to be more transparency. And I'll challenge any powerlifting promoter, however you want to call it, who puts on events. I will lay out dollar for dollar everything that we spend on a competition. I'll lay out everything that we spend if you do the same.
Yeah.
If they can show.
If anything, it'll just be sad for us.
Yeah, that'll be a real fucking bummer, because theirs will end with a big green number with a big circle around it that says this is the money that we made, and ours will be written in my blood,
like 5 cents.
Yeah. Ours will be red, but it'll be but it's I'm not saying that people shouldn't make money, but I'm saying that a lot of money is being made off of the athletes' backs who are the ones who
and
are
we're not
putting
trying
on
to
the
be
show.
martyrs.
No.
We're like, I was like, oh, poor us. We don't make any money off of this. But we also want it accessible. We want the sport to grow.
Yeah.
And we know that we're in the infancy of it in Manitoba.
The thing is that these other promoters who were charging insane amounts of money are trying to justify it and saying that it costs this much to do this and that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, we're over here running shows at $65 registration fees, and we're able to do it. And I'm also buying all this equipment this year.
Yeah.
And there's whatever.
Also for powerlifting, it's mandatory to volunteer.
Yes.
If you want to advance to another competition.
Yep.
We don't tell people that they have to volunteer.
We have the best group
and
of volunteers.
Have paid positions too.
Yep. This is a conversation that I've had many times that I didn't mean to get too much into it here, but I cannot
start this now. We're almost at an hour.
Since they brought it up, I was like, you know what, this is worth talking about. But for real, I'll do that. Any powerlifting promoter who's like wants to justify, and this is not WRPF, by the way, because their fees are much more reasonable.
Yeah.
But anybody who's like, hey, this is why I have to charge as much as I do, I'm all ears. I'm all ears because here's the thing is that I can probably help you. Because I'm not charging that much.
Yeah.
And we have a thriving, growing community here of people who are competing and having a great time. So, anyway.
All right.
Yeah, I guess we'll wrap it on that there. So, thanks to everybody who paid attention. This was a little bit of like a weird episode with nothing really much to talk about. But
oh my God, so much. What are you talking about? I had so much fun.
We had a 55-minute conversation about almost nothing.
Oh, this is exactly what it's like sitting at home with me.
So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you guys next time.